Hello all, welcome to Global Offensive Hacker Associate community and welcome to another hacking episode of Hacker Associate. In this hacking episode, we are going to learn about OpenEMR vulnerability and we are going to see how we are going to exploit OpenEMR vulnerability. Today I am going to take a machine from Hack the Box and the machine name is Cache. So in this machine, we're going to learn about how we can brute force a virtual host, how to perform a SQL injections, and how to exploit open EMR vulnerability. And I'm going to cover each and everything in step-by-step manner. So I am Harshad, founder and CEO of Hacker Associate. Let's begin. So first we're starting with Nmap. So in my case, I have already done like this Nmap scanning. But if in case if you want to scan, you can use Nmap -b -a and -p -t4 and then IP address of the machine, which is 10.10.10.188. So if you do this, you will see some ports are open. So in my case, the ports are this 80 and 22. So let's navigate to the directory where we have worked with this. So document, in my case, all machines are available under Hack the Box folder. You can say STB and the cache machine. So I think I have to use this cd dollar and then document STB and cache machine. So here when I just try to show you Nmap cache, and here are the ports are open 22 and port 80. So as you know, like 22 is for SSH remote login and 80 for the web. So simple, you can go to the browser and you can simple just try 10.10.10.188. So when you look this particular port, we can say port 80, and now I'm navigating to this different pages. You can see clearly I have a home, news, contact us, so I can try to navigate. But the conclusion here is this is static application, and I can simple try to open this author, try to open login, and I can perform a SQL injection here. Why? Because there is a admin and there is a password. So just try with default credential, so admin and then admin. Try to login. So in my case, you can see something coming called password didn't match, click OK, and then username didn't match, click OK. So here is some issue, and let's try with the burp also in between. So if we just try to record in the burp, this particular capturing part will not come okay in the burp. So what you can do is the simple technique, you can use it. You can use function F12. I'm using a Mac system, so you can just try function F12 and you can see some part you'll be able to see here: inspector, console, debugger, network, something like that. Refresh the page. So when you try to refresh the page, you can see clearly there is a jQuery and there is a functionality.js page is there. You can simple select it, right click, copy URL, simple go here and you can paste it here and enter. So when you try to read this page, you can see clearly we have a username and we have a password. So username is called as an ash and the password is this. Let's note down this particular information in our Sublime editor. So this is a password. So I think not copied properly. Let me copy again. So this is we have a password, and here you go. And username is, we can say we have a hash. So let's move further. So there's a login page, by the way. So we can simple go here to the login page, close it. So login, we have a hash and then password. We just now copied, we simple going to paste it. So you can clearly see I logged in to this particular page, but I didn't have any information here, right? You can see clearly I don't have any information, but another information I can easily get from here, this page. You can see this is username and there's one link is available called as cache.stb. So domain name is stb. This is a main domain. So I'm going to brute force this domain name in order to identify other subdomain, or we can say this part is called as an vhost brute forcing, virtual host brute forcing. Just try to open it and open link in new tab. So in my case, this is opening because I have made this particular part in our etc host file, the entry. So we have to add an entry inside this file etc host. You can simple go here and add an entry. So in my case, this is IP address, and here you go, right? This is the cache.stb, then we have stb, then we have hms.stb. So you can simple see here when you go to this page like author. So when you navigate to the author, here we have hospital management system. So that's why actually we have no idea about the other subdomain. So what we can do is we can simple brute force it. Okay, we can say vhost brute forcing. So let's navigate to the terminal. We can use GoBuster for this. So as I mentioned to you here, so example, let's say we have a www.hershey.com, and here okay we have a ftp okay hershey.com. So this is my subdomain. Same way in this case, okay, we have a cache.htb. So the main domain is, we can say, is HTB. So I'm going to do a brute force. We can say vhost brute force. So what I can do is I can simple use the tool called as a wfuzz, and you can also use GoBuster in order to brute force this vhost. How to use it? Simple. You can use GoBuster and then you can use vhost. In the same way you can use it like -u for URL and other thing, and then word list. So let's see how we can do it. So GoBuster, and I'm going to use GoBuster, Control C. GoBuster, we have a vhost, this part, okay, and let's try it and press enter. So I'm okay using a sec list. You can also use it as a sec list, and here okay we'll get okay like hms.htb. So when you try to open, okay, let's see how it look like. And again, okay, this part also you have to make an entry inside it is the host file. So example, let's say we have hms.htb, it look like this exactly, and you can try to read the source code, and here okay we'll get it here called OpenEMR. And now okay you can go to the search exploit, and you can simple search for the vulnerability. So I can simple go here, search exploit OpenEMR, press enter, and here you go. There are many things, by the way, so again it's very difficult from here, okay, like which one is the correct one. So what I can do, I can simple go to the Google and I can do some other recon. Simple just search OpenEMR exploit, enter. So when you do that, okay, simple you can navigate some particular okay links. So let's try to open this one, open link in new tab. Let's try this also. This is something different. I try to open this vulnerability report regarding to this 5.0 to 1.3, and operating system is Linux. So you can clearly see this OpenEMR, and when you try to read it, okay, you can clearly see it is tested on Ubuntu, LAMP and OpenEMR version. And here okay, that's how okay we can use it. Okay, but still we are not sure right now. What I can do is I can just okay leave as it is this part and try to understand okay this report. So when you try to read this report, you can see clearly we have multiple instances of SQL injection. Then here we have a patient portal authentication bypass. So what do you mean by this? Patient portal authentication bypass. So I'll show you here. Okay, again we can going to do a brute force. So again you can go to this terminal. Okay, you can see clearly it is still running. I'm going to open a new tab and I'm going to do a brute forcing again. So GoBuster, we can use directory, and this time okay I use the same medium.txt, and I want to brute force okay this name like hms.htb. okay, and you can simply try to do brute force on this, press enter. So when you try to do brute force on this particular part, okay, you will see there is a portal, there is a one directory called portal is available under this domain, so HMS, and right now I am here. So when you simple try to navigate, let's go to the new tab, simple just type it hms.stv and it will come portal, press enter. And when you just try to open the portal, you can see this is called patient portal login, right? That's how okay we got the details here. You can see patient portal authentication bypass, and exactly we are getting the same. It's called patient portal login. So now we got some hint here, and you can simply go to the multiple instances of SQL injection. So it's best okay like what you can do, you can try to read it, this all report, okay, in order to root this machine. So to understand about OpenEMR, what is OpenEMR? So when you try to read from here, patient portal authentication bypass, an unauthenticated user is able to bypass the patient portal login by simply navigating to the registration page and modifying the requested URL to access the desired page. Some example of the pages in the portal directory that are accessible after browsing on the registration page include. So here okay like these pages are given. So let's try also copy this, and we can simple try to paste after this. So here you can see you will get an error because talking about some registration part. So you can see I didn't find anything here. Try to read the information again. some example of the pages in the portal directory that are accessible after browsing to the registration page. So here, okay, like where the registration page, still we didn't identify this thing. So what you can do is, let's do some recon, and before the recon I'll show some other thing. You can see clearly this portal part came, right? You can see I did brute forcing, and here, okay, you can clearly see this is a portal directory, and that's how, okay, I search it, that's how, okay, I recon it. So it looked like SQL injection is there, but we are not sure right now. So now let's identify it properly. So let's again go to this particular open EMR, and this time, okay, what I can do is I can try if I can get anything regarding to open EMR. So I'll just try with the GitHub, and just type open EMR, press enter, and here, okay, you can see we have something related to open EMR. So let's open it, and here, okay, we require registration page. So let's try it, okay, like and identify, okay, like where is the registration page, and also we can check, okay, our output, okay, whatever we get it here. Here I'm not able to see anything related to the registration. Okay, so this is the one more thing here, and let's go again to the browser and try to check on GitHub. So if we can check, okay, like this is the page, you can see we have interface directory, which we can easily see here somewhere. Interface, here, this is the interface, right? This is a portal. Fantastic, this part we have identified. Now here, okay, if we can check, there is an interface here. Okay, you can simple click on the interface, and here you go. So when you click on interface, there is an form, there is an product registration here. This is called product registration. Simple click on this, and here, okay, you can see there are some registration pages are available. So let's first again check the other interesting thing. GitHub, I am here. So we have an interface, then we have a portal here. Just click on the portal. So when you click on the portal, then I'm just checking, okay, like other details, if we can get it anything. So we will get patient information, then we have a portal, then we have account. Let's go to the account, and here we have a registration page. Okay, you can see under the portal we have account, and then we have a register PHP. So here, okay, we can see clearly, right? So let's try it here, open. Then we can simple go here, remove this part. We'll go to the account, and then register.php. Try to check it out. You can see this is not found here, and here, okay, just try to read this particular report. So when you read the report, it is showing portal add event, edit event user.php. So here we are, portal, and here is talking about some information here like portal, then we have add event user.php. Let's try to open it. Here is a patient portal, and here is a portal. Let's try. Just remove this extra slash. So here, okay, it didn't work. So we have to identify the registration page. So here I have identified one page here. So you can simple go back. Here, okay, if we can check open EMR, there is a page called here directory called portal, and then account we can navigate, and under the account we have a register.php. So when you can simple go here, the portal account register.php, you can see clearly I'm on this particular page. Now I can simple check the report. This is a report, and now I simple navigate to this portal and then try to open this one. So go here and change this particular directory, and you can simple, okay, like remove one extra slash and then try it, and we can see clearly we simple bypass it. Now take this information, okay, in a burp. So this is the burp right now. Go to the history part, and here, okay, we can see this information, the last section where we have added here, right? This is the meaning. Again go back, okay, just to the report and understand the report, what exactly it is telling. So let's identify the POC, proof of concept. So when you can simple go down and try to understand this POC. So here is a POC. You can clearly see we have this EID equal to 1, and then try to open it this part. Copy it, and you can simply go to the browser. We have this section, so I can simple paste it, PHP user event.php, and here I have to put question mark. This is a parameter, press enter. So you can see clearly like I'm getting error, it means the SQL injection vulnerability. So what I can do is I can try one more thing here. Just remove everything, just put 1 and check it out. So again the same error is coming, so I can just try to use single quote and check it out. Yes, the error is there. So the same request, okay, what I can check in the burp. So let's check everything in the burp. The last request, which is we have EID 27, we can just take all the information, copy to the file. Okay, this you can just make it, copy to the file and create a file. In my case, I create the file called SQL info2.txt. So you can simply go here, navigate to this, and let me just show you how to use SQL map then. So you can use SQL map, cd document cache machine, and then you can use SQL map, okay, -r, and here, okay, I enumerate the user called as an user secure is one table, and the database called OpenEMR. So first time, okay, if you're using this part, you can simply use SQL injection, and you can simply just type -dbs -batch. So it will identify the database regarding to this. So you can clearly see we got the database called as an OpenEMR. So once you identify the database, what you can do is you can simple use -D, and you can use OpenEMR, is a database name, paste it and identify the tables regarding to this -tables. And once you identify the tables, then okay, we require what? So here we have to dump it. So this is the user secure. This you can simply copy it. So this is a table now. So now we have a tables is identified. So -T, then we have a Control-Shift-V. Then you can simply just type -dump for this particular table and try to identify this thing. So you can clearly see we have, okay, like this string, okay, this is the hash. So try to crack it. So in my case, I have copied in the particular file called as in pass.txt. Okay, so cat pass.txt. You can copy everything. So I got, okay, like this first section and the second section, and I'm using a tool called crack.py. So you can use cd. Okay, I'm going to show you. This is crack.py. Okay, so I'm going to crack this hash. So what you can do, you can use Python 3 and simple crack.py -help. Do you want to crack? Yes, I want to crack. Which part? So I want to crack this part. Just copy it, and you can simple just type y hash to crack. Let's paste it here and then enter. So you can clearly see in my case I successfully cracked it, and this is the result. Okay, this is the result. Let me copy the result. We can say XXXX. Okay, and here is a payload, okay, which I downloaded. So we can say the exploit which I downloaded for this particular vulnerability, OpenEMR. So we need to simply just type search exploit OpenEMR, and I'm using 45161. Okay, this is the match, and this is, okay, working for Linux. So I just try to read this payload, search exploit -x, then we have 45161.py. You can clearly see tested on Ubuntu, and here, okay, is the method, okay, given there, okay, like how to use this particular payload. So what you can do, you can simply use Q, and now I'm going to see, okay, like how we can use this particular exploit in order to get the reverse connection. So ls, now here we have 45161.py. So I'm listening on this port 1337. Let's run this payload again, and here, okay, you can see clearly I have to change my IP address, so which is 10.10.14 dot something. So let me check it out also. Right click, split vertically, and check the IP address. So 10.10.14.11. So 10.10.14.11 1337, everything look okay, and when you press enter, and then, okay, you will get a connection here. If everything okay, you will see the connection. Fantastic, we got the connection. and now simple exit this part and we are here. Okay, so now you can see the when I type clear command is not working. What I have to do is I have to set my environment variable, but before this I can use python 3. Then you can use python 3 minus c single quote import pty termination pty dot spawn spawn. Then we have a bin slash bash single quote close, and it is done. And now you can use export term equal to x term. Try to clear the screen. Okay, it is working fine, and just search the user.txt. So in my case you can clearly see permission denied, and here okay we got it here, right? So if we can just go to the top, here is the user.txt. So home of ash. Okay, right now where I am now, so I'm not okay here at the ash user. So what I can do, I can simple switch user. We have ash, and then we already noted the password. So this is the password where we have a h at the rate this one. Just copy it, and you can simple go here and you can simple paste, enter. If everything okay, now we are here. Now we can simple go to the cat, then we have a slash home, then we have ash, and then we have a user.txt, and here we got the user flag. So again no such file or directory. Again we use find, let's confirm id. We have a ls, then cd, then we have a slash home ls, then cd, we have a ash ls, then we have a cat user.txt. Okay, so here we can clearly see we have a user.txt. Now here okay, what else we can do, how we can root this machine. Okay, like we can say the escalation part. So for that purpose you can just try to use netstate minus pant. So you can see clearly there are many things running on this, and here okay if you can check it out, it's called 127.0.0.1 11211, and second we have a 53, then third 3306. So what do you mean by this, what exactly it is? So actually this is called as a memcache, and memcache store the data in chunks of memory called as a slab, and each slab have multiple items, with each item consisting of the multiple keys and value pairs which actually store the data. So how we can communicate okay using this? So what you can do is you can simply use telnet now. So telnet, and we are going to communicate 127.0.0.1, and then we have a 11211, press enter. So right now I'm connected, and you can simply just type okay like stats. Check it out, you can see we have many things now available. So you can simply just type stat slabs. So let's still use tilt button state. We have a slab, slabs actually. Again we are getting error, let me check it is typo error or not. State slabs, it is working. I think it's typo error. So you can see it is working, and this is a slab. So I'm looking for an items and the username and password. So again you just type stats, and you can use items. So here are the items we have, and what we want to do, we want to see some cache related stuff. So what you can do, you can simply just type state cache dump 10. So this is the cache, and here okay user and the password, right? This is how we identify the things. So let's do some get user on this, and then get password on this, and you can see we got the password. The user, you can see clearly we have a ALUFFY, and the password we can see clearly is called this. So let's copy this password, and you can just put on this note, this is the password, and user is ALUFFY. So we got the information. Now what we can do, we can simple end it here, Control C. So we close everything, by the way. So again I have to run this payload. So here, before this, I have to again restart the connection, send this one, and I'll get a connection here. Okay, again I have to use Python 3, not here, this side, Python 3 -c single quote import pty and then pty dot spawn spawn and then double quote slash bin bash. Single quote close. It is done now. We just type clear and check it out. It's not working, so it means we have to use export term equal to x term. Enter. Just try with clear command. It is working. Yes, it's working. Then switch user. View user call this. Okay. Enter. We require passwords, which is I think ON3 underscore. We have a P1. We have a EC3, which if I am correct, I can just check it out. So we 0 and 3 underscore P1 EC3. Press enter, no space. Just try it. Okay, see we logged in here. Now just try okay docker space minus version. So in this case, okay, the docker service is running, and here you go. Okay, you can simply just check ps minus aux enter. So you can check, or what I can do, I can just simple grab it, ps minus aux pipe grab root I can type. So we have all this information regarding to the root. So this is a root. We have switch user. Then you can simple go container services running here. There are many services running in this case. You can also use automated script if you want, but this is how okay you can check it out. And further, okay, if you enumerate okay here, so these are like docker service running, okay, which I can easily see the container services running. And in this case, what I can do, I can simply run the command called docker. I can try to run -v and you can use this syntax mnt -rm, then we use interactive shell ubuntu and then chroot /mnt and then sh. If everything okay, you will get a root shell, and just try id, and here you go. Here okay, like we rooted the machine. ls, we have everything. Now we can simple just search find and -name root.txt. So we have a cat command now /root, then root.txt. Under the root we have a root.txt. This is one of the best machine we can say. Okay, you can just try to look out, and here okay we learn a lot of things okay regarding to this machine. So this is a root shell. Okay, right now we can say root.txt. Let me copy this particular thing, copy, and we can simple copy to the sublime. Okay, this is a root flag. This is how we can root this machine. So what you have learned in this case is okay, we have talk about in this case called vhost brute forcing. We have done SQL injection, okay, and how we identify the vulnerability using simple okay using a recon technique we have used. So simple, we just check for the open EMR on GitHub, we check on Google, we check the report, we started reading the report, we got some hint there, and then based on this we simply navigate to the particular folder and just try to do something there, and then we got a success. Other part what we have done is okay, like we have done a brute forcing on the particular directory, which is always recommendation whenever okay you are going to penetrate any web application, right? First part okay, always check it out okay, like directory brute forcing. There are many tools available for this. And then finally okay, like we done privilege escalation. Okay, there is a called memcache vulnerability is there. Okay, so using that okay, also identify okay, like username and the password, and then we got a hint regarding to the docker container, and then using this okay, we simply reach to the root shell. That's how okay we have rooted the machine. I hope this video is informative for you. Thank you for watching the video. Have a great day ahead. Thank you.